Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and back to another video. Yes, my setup is a little bit different today. I got my Christmas tree in the background because I celebrate early. Don't judge me. And in today's video, we're gonna be talking about a segment from everyone's favorite show, The View. And yes, that's sarcasm. But although I am not a fan of this show, I did come across this segment today and I was like, wow, we gotta talk about this because this actually is progress. So in this clip, of course, they're discussing what happened with the election. How did Donald Trump win? Oh my God, what's happening here? And Sunny Hostin, per usual, is giving her self-righteous, speech to the nation, saying that people are the problem. It's white women, it's misogyny, it's Latin men, how dare they? All this garbage. And Alyssa Farah Griffin, who used to work for Trump's administration back in 2020, who has since turned on him and turned on the administration. She actually voted for Harris. She actually stood out to me in this segment because she was explaining just how the Democrats lost and why they lost. And then Sarah Haynes jumps in and pretty much puts Sunny in her place. And this clip was everything. So we're gonna watch it together. I did film it originally earlier today and I was talking while I was filming it so you can hear me in the background. But it just blew me away. It blew me away, the pure stupidity of Sunny Hostin. So without further ado, let's watch this clip together.
The lesson Democrats should take is not, we didn't run far enough to the left. They lost rural voters. They lost working class voters.
Preach, Alyssa.
Listen, I was someone who, I'm recognizing, reflecting on this election, I had the privilege of saying I'm voting on democracy because I'm a high-income earner. If your check engine light is on and you've got bills piling up on the table, you're not thinking about democracy. You're not thinking about the war in Ukraine. You're thinking about how will my life be better tomorrow? And the reality is this, we all sat around kind of wondering, who is the swing voter that will decide this election? And a lot of folks thought it was women and abortion.
Nope.
No, it turns out it was people in the suburbs who are like, I can't stand Donald Trump's personality. I don't like how he talks, but my life was better off economically when he was president. And I'm struck by this.
But that's the middle class. We're talking about the working class.
I'm talking broadly.
Yeah.
He was not just the working class that he won. He also got the largest share of young voters for Republicans since 2008. That was the height of the financial crisis. Young voters, maybe they care about Gaza, maybe they care about student loans, but to be
Look at Sunny.
two-thirds of the country doesn't even get to go to college. They're thinking,
She can't even sit up straight. What a miserable woman.
The life that I want. And finally, suburban women, sure, they definitely care about abortion. They also care that they're paying to send their kids to college and their graduations are being canceled because there's protests everywhere and because people are out in the streets.
Because the left is freaking crazy.
Somewhere else, rather than just being able to educate their kids. There is so much room for self-reflection from the Democrats, and I hope they have it. Every time Joe Biden bragged about how good the economy is, another vote of someone struggling went to Donald Trump.
Yep.
Right?
Anybody? I disagree.
Of course she does.
I think that
Shocker.
I'd like to reframe the conversation. I think Bernie Sanders is wrong.
Oh, here we go.
I think the more relevant question actually is what is wrong with America? I think what is wrong with our country?
What a nut
The
job.
Republican Party would choose as a candidate
Oh, here we go.
and support a
Here we go.
candidate who is an insurrectionist,
Mhm.
who is an election denier,
Mhm.
who is someone who is twice impeached,
Uh-huh.
34-time convicted felon.
Uh-huh. Yeah, puppets, clap puppets.
Alleged sexual misconduct by 26 women found liable for sexual abuse. What is wrong with this country that they would choose a message of divisiveness,
She's so
of
stupid.
xenophobia, of racism, of misogyny, over
She's on a roll now.
inclusiveness, a message for the people, by the people, of the people.
It's
That
not
is what the problem is.
Republican. You won the
Republican
popular vote.
Party.
But can I-
And what's wrong with America?
Oh, so it's our fault. We're just dumb. As you could hear in the background as I was filming that, I could not keep my mouth shut. I'm sorry. I just couldn't. Like, every time she talks, I'm just like, shut up, woman. Like, she's just such an idiot. Like, and it's not even like what she's saying that's the problem, because of course what she says is bullcrap, right? But it's how she delivers the message, right? It's like this feeling of like she's talking to a child when she talks to America, right? Like when she talks to Trump voters, she's talking to us like we are stupid children that need to be put in our place, right? Like, you shouldn't be doing that. Don't you know better? And it's like, lady, you live in a mansion, okay? You don't know what struggle looks like in today's economy. So to tell voters that they are the problem because they didn't vote the way you wanted them to vote, and we're not talking about just a little bit, right? We're talking about a massive red tsunami, okay? We're talking about people turning districts red that have always been blue for God knows how long, okay? Districts in New York State, districts in New Jersey, districts in Pennsylvania, in Florida and Miami. Districts in freaking California were turning red. I mean, this was something that swept the entire country. And Piers Morgan posted a tweet, I think it was today, and I'm gonna put it up somewhere, but what he said is so accurate. It's like, this was such a rejection of leftism like we've never seen before. And it's the attitude of a Sunny Hostin that is what people are voting against. It's that elitist attitude of this nose in the air, I know what's best for you. You know, I'm gonna cancel you if you don't vote the way that I want you to vote. I'm gonna police your language. I'm going to call you a racist, a misogynist, a transphobe, and everything under the sun if you don't share my views. That type of perspective is what people were voting against. It wasn't just Kamala Harris. It was everything that the left represents. And Sunny Hostin is the perfect example of what that is. Every time she talks, it's like, yep, and that's why we hate the left. Keep talking. But it gets better because Sarah Haynes then jumps in because she was getting tired of Sunny's mouth. And she pretty much put Sunny in her place. Watch this clip.
Sounded elitist. You don't have value in society.
They
you don't
sounded
have college
that way, but when you look at the proof,
No, they are elitist.
It's condescending. There is a
condescending.
the way that the left speaks to its voters.
Yep.
It really is.
A message of joy and inclusiveness.
No, the message of being educated, being dumb, and what's wrong with America. Who said that? Sunny just did.
What is wrong with
Joy.
America?
My point here is that
She's so stupid.
No. But my point is, I don't blame Joe Biden. I don't blame Kamala Harris. Go back as far as you want. I blame a messaging within the Democratic Party.
Yep.
Well, can I just finish my point, please? I obviously have a problem. Anyone
Shut her down.
The bigger question should be, yes, Sunny, why did they vote for him?
Yes.
In sweeping...
They need to be introspective.
No, we need to be introspective. If we voted for Kamala Harris, we need to say...
It's all
what didn't
them.
resonate
It's
with the
them.
voters? Do you know what didn't resonate with the voters? When they were saying we don't feel safe, and the left focused on defund the police and
Yep.
bail reform.
Yeah.
When
Preach.
they said we're worrying
They
about...
also
Can I just
focused on
finish?
gun
Let me just finish real quickly. When they were focused
Gun
on...
control.
Show, ladies.
Joy. When they were focused on renaming schools, there were people saying, hey, students are destroying colleges. I paid for that. I sent them there. They can't learn.
Yep.
And everyone apologized for it and didn't want to attend to it. They also denied the border was a crisis and kept saying, no, it's fine. This is not a...
There was a border bill, though. There was a border bill.
Yes, but Joy, my point is they screamed. They didn't vote for him because he's a racist or a misogynist. They voted because they needed help in their everyday lives.
But Sarah,
They
they
make
voted-
the
they voted.
majority of
How do
this
you know
country
that?
because there's every
How do we know? 'Cause he won.
willing to self-reflect are showing these.
Oh, wait, they're going to say I'm a racist and a misogynist in the exit poll?
You really think 74 million people are racist?
Who's gonna say that?
Every racist and misogynist voted for Donald Trump. Not everyone that voted for Donald Trump was
Was a
a
racist
and
and misogynist. Exactly.
Everyone swept. They swept every category, and the reason they did is to say, "Hey guys, no excuses this time."
Yeah. Look.
They lost everything.
It's
A
still half
country
the
that
country
allows
doesn't
Boom.
agree with
women to be
him.
ravaged, its children to be shot, its wealth to be hoarded, its worker to be exploited, its poor to starve, its cops to murder.
So you think
It's
America's
a
the
country
problem?
in trouble.
Notice Sunny has to read her notes. She can't ever talk, from the heart. It's always the notes.
Hold it.
Idiot. You know, as much as the view is gaga, I do appreciate moments like that where the other hosts are like, Sunny, cut it out. Okay, you're being stupid right now. You really are. And just for some context, Alyssa is a registered Republican, but because she's anti-Trump, she voted for Kamala Harris. And Sarah Haynes is a registered independent who isn't a liberal, but she leans left, but she's also an independent, which is why she's able to look at the full picture and say, you know what, maybe we need to reevaluate some things because what happened here happened for a reason and you can't blame the voters. Sunny Hostin, on the other hand, and you could add Joy Behar as well, are typical old school leftist liberals who are incapable of self-reflection. So it's always somebody else's fault. It's not our fault. It's not our party. It's them. It's America. America's racist. America's misogynist. America's just dumb. And you know what? It's on brand because Sunny Hostin is the kind of person who believes in not standing for the anthem. She's the kind of person who believes that we should defund the police. She's the kind of person who believes that America is just a racist, horrible country, even though she benefits from that racist, horrible country with her 7-figure salary, right? She'll take that. But then at the same time, she'll still complain about the system and call it racist because that's her bread and butter. And Joy is just a typical white Karen liberal who is self-hating and wants to atone for her whiteness. So, you know, it's a poop show over there. But I do appreciate those moments when other people can come on the show, even some of the co-hosts, and say, I call BS, and here's why. And at least there's two people on the panel who are getting it, or at least starting to get it and understand that this is something that you have to look at within. You cannot just blame the Trump voters and say it's our fault, we're just horrible people and we've ruined everything. There's a reason why majority of this country voted for Donald Trump. It's much bigger than just Donald Trump or even Kamala Harris. It's about the culture that's changing, that people don't like. And that vote for him was a vote against leftism. Get it through your head. Lastly, I want you guys to see this video that I posted on my YouTube shorts. It's of a Democrat that was talking on CNN. And she threw down the gauntlet, explaining in detail how it's not the voters' fault that Donald Trump won and Kamala Harris lost. It's Democrats' fault, because Democrats have destroyed their own party from within. Watch this clip.
To my friends in the Democratic Party, this is not Joe Biden's fault. It's not Kamala Harris's fault. It's not Barack Obama's fault. It is the fault of the Democratic Party in not knowing how to communicate effectively to voters. We are not the party of common sense, which is what the message that voters sent to us. For a number of reasons. We don't know how to speak to voters. When we address Latino, and language has meaning. When we address Latino voters as Latinx, for instance, because that's the politically correct thing to do. It makes them think that we don't even live on the same planet as they do. When we are too afraid to say that, hey, college kids, if you're trashing a campus at Columbia University because you're unhappy about some sort of policy and you're taking over a university, and you're trashing it and preventing other students from learning, that is unacceptable. But we're so worried about alienating one or another cohort in our coalition that we don't know what to say when normal people look at that and say, wait a second, I send my kids to college so they can learn, not so that they can burn buildings and trash lawns, right? And so on and so forth. When we put pronouns after names and say she, her, as opposed to saying, you know what, if I call you by the wrong pronoun, call me out, I'm sorry, I won't do it again. But stop with the virtue signaling and just speak to people like they're normal.
I mean, where's the lie? Where is it? I can't find it. I mean, she threw down the gauntlet and just threw everything on the table. And I love the CNN host was kind of like, uh-oh, we didn't plan for this. It's what it is, man. It's what it is. We shall see what happens in the next 4 years. We'll see if the Democrats are able to self-reflect and make some changes. I doubt it, quite frankly, because their party has been hijacked by the AOCs and the Squad and the progressive, crazy, virtual signaling liberals who have overtaken the party, pretty much. And the funny thing, too, is that a lot of people thought that Gen Z was going to be the deciding voters, right? That they were going to be the ones that were going to flip this for Kamala Harris because they're just coming out in droves and they're voting and their voices are going to be heard. And turns out, young people actually voted for Donald Trump in large numbers, okay? Large numbers. In fact, every demographic, as you can see here, voted for Donald Trump in large numbers, with the exception of African-American women and African-American men. But every other demographic was flipping. And again, that just says something. People are tired of identity politics. I'm not Latinx. I'm a Latino because I'm a male. And if you're a woman and you're Latin, you are a Latina. That's how that works. Because male and female exist. And it isn't offensive to say that. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this video, what you thought of this segment. Were you as shocked as I was to see Sunny Hostin getting called out by her co-host for being a complete idiot? Let me know down below. If you enjoy my content, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit my notification bell so you know when I post a brand new video. And yes, that is Tyrion back there chilling on the couch. Peace. Say, don't forget to subscribe.